Hi Dad, today we're going to be interviewing you about your experiences with the charity JOLT. Would you be able to give us an idea of what JOLT is and how you came to be involved in it?
Okay, Coke. So JOLT is a national charity that takes disabled and disadvantaged children on what is called a journey of a lifetime. It started 30, 40 years ago, maybe longer. It's been all over the world, and it really pushes children to their limits, to really challenge them to thrive, and it's had some really fantastic outcomes. The distances, I mean, it's been to Australia, we've travelled to South Africa, South America, we've been all over the world. I've been lucky enough to go on a few of those as an expedition leader, which I think is what we're going to talk about.
So how did you become involved in JOLT?
So I was supposed to be looking for a teaching job for me and my partner to move back to the Wirral, and instead of looking for the teaching jobs in this country, I looked into the overseas and saw that JOLT was advertising for an expedition leader to New Zealand, and at the time Lord of the Rings had just come out, so everyone was wanting to go to New Zealand, and I ended up at an interview in Harrow School in London, and there was about 8 candidates, and I was lucky enough to get the position, and I went in 2005, I think.
But not everyone would jump on that opportunity, would they? So why were you in particular up for that challenge?
JOLT's not just about we get to travel with the children, and we get to make some great big impacts, but from a selfish perspective, you get to see such amazing things with these inspiring young people. It makes it even better than simply travelling alone or doing your own kind of trips. So it wasn't a difficult decision to want to get involved and be part of the expeditions. My background is very kind of outdoor pursuits, so it was an obvious one, and plus I'm a teacher, so it was an obvious one to go for.
How long were you on expedition for?
Expeditions, 4 weeks. The first 3 I've done have been 4 weeks solid, and we don't encourage too much contact with home because we find it can have a negative impact on the expedition. Young people can get too upset and not concentrate on what they're trying to achieve. So we're quite isolated on the trips for 4 weeks. The next one that I'm due on is actually going to be a little bit shorter at 3.5 weeks, to just try and save some money for the charity as well, to make the trip a bit cheaper.
So your first trip to New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
What was the second trip you went on?
The second trip was it was a bit of a tour across South Africa. So we did South Africa, Namibia, and we went up into the mountains of Lesotho, travelling in ex-military trucks, canvas-topped, great big kind of lorries across the desert and into Namibia, especially a lot of miles on a lot of sand. There's that one.
What about your third one?
My third trip was not as long ago, it was just before COVID, and we travelled to South America, covering Peru and Ecuador, and the highlight of it was the Galapagos Islands. So we were snorkeling on the Galapagos Islands. We managed to get the whole expedition up to Cotopaxi, which is to the base camp of Cotopaxi on the volcano. Horrendous walking conditions, and all the expedition dragged and carried and led and helped each other